This recording is with regards to number 8 in the Math 313 practice quiz. It reads, a bakery produces two types of cakes, simple and extraordinary. The respective processing times for each batch on the dough making machine are 20 minutes and 40 minutes, while the oven baking times are 15 minutes and 54 minutes respectively. So respectively regarding simple and extraordinary. How many batches of each type of cake should be processed in an 8-hour shift so that both the dough making machine and the oven are fully occupied? So let's see where we can go for assistance to approach such a question. So here it says that we can go for assistance, we can go to question number 24 on page 60 in the electronic whiteboard. So let us do that. So here we are in the electronic whiteboard, number 24, and it reads, a bakery produces two types of cakes, simple and extraordinary. Okay? The respective processing times for each batch on the dough making machine are 20 minutes and 40 minutes, while the oven baking times are 50 minutes and 51 minutes respectively. How many batches of each type of cake should be processed in an 8-hour shift so that both the dough making machine and the oven are fully occupied? So this is the case of solving a pair of simultaneous linear equations, and you can use matrices to do that. Here you have a YouTube video demonstrating how this can be done. So now in the solution, it says that for the simple cake, we can use X for the simple cake, and we can use Y for the extraordinary cake. So we can use X for the simple cake, and we can use Y for the extraordinary cake. And with that now symbolization, we can formulate the two linear equations, because we're going to apply matrices to solve simultaneous linear equations. So it must be in the format a number times x, a coefficient times x plus a coefficient times y is equal to a constant. A coefficient times x plus a coefficient times y is equal to a constant. So we have equation number 1, and we've got equation number 2. So lower down, it says that 20x plus 40y is equal to, and 15x plus 54y is equal to, because we're talking about the dough making and the oven making. So for the dough making is 24x and 44y, and for the oven making is 15 for x and 54 for y, and that's what we've got here. Now, how much time do we have? What is our constraint? We are constrained to an 8-hour shift, and the times above are given in minutes, so we have to convert 8 hours to minutes, and we just simply have to multiply by 60, because 60 minutes make an hour. So they both are constrained to 480 minutes. So here we have our two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Now, we can formulate a matrix equation with the coefficients, the variables, and the constants. We have a 2x2 matrix with the coefficients 20, 40, 15, 54. That's why this arrangement is very important. Okay. And right, you see 20, 40, 15, 54. So 20, 40 is for x, 15, 54 is for y, and they are both constraints to 480. Next, we have to find the inverse of the 2x2. The inverse of a 2x2 matrix is 1 over the determinant times the adjugate. The determinant is 20 by 454 minus 15 by 40. 1 over that times the adjugate. The adjugate, you have to swap the positions of the 20 and the 54 and change the signs of the 15 and 40. So here we've got the inverse 1 over 20 by 54 minus 15 by 40 times 54 and 20 swap position, and actually this step is supposed to come after that step. Okay, right. So here we have determine the inverse of the 2 by 2. Okay, and after this inverse have to be multiplied. So here's the inverse. Simplified. It has to be multiplied now to the constant, okay, to get x and y. So we have 1 over 480 times. So to multiply matrices, you have to multiply row times column. So 54 by 480 plus minus 40 by 480. And for the y is minus 15 by 480 plus 20 by 480. And here it is done. We must now multiply the 2 by 2 by column matrix. Here it is done. It is simplified. And the 1 over 480, we simply multiply it after. That's 1 over the determinant. And here we are left with x is equal to 15 and y is equal to, x is equal to 14 and y is equal to 5. Okay. Here we have it there. So let us see if that is what was applied for our question. Number 8. At this glance, we can clearly see it's basically the same values. Here we have the information, simple and extraordinary. X for simple, y for extraordinary. Here we have the 2 linear equations. Here we've got the 2 by 2 equation and the constants. Actually, this supposed to be in front of the xy. So there's a slight error here. Xy is supposed to be on the right side, not before. Okay, but it doesn't really matter anyways, because the multiplication for matrices is not commutative, so the xy must be on the right side. Okay, now here we found the determinant, the inverse, sorry, of the 2 by 2. 1 over the determinant times the adjoint or the adjugate, and here the 2 by 2 now is multiplied to the 480 in column matrix, and here lower down, remember it's row by column, 54 by 480 plus minus 40 by 480 and 15 by 480 plus 20 by 480. And here the addition is simplified, and afterwards at the end you simply multiply by 1 over 480, which is the same as dividing by 480. And you have x is equal to 14, y is equal to 15. So this is actually